Greetings, and welcome to another episode of a 30 days journey into discussing 30 important questions singles must ask while dating or courting. Welcome to episode number 13. And if you have not watched episodes 1 to 12, please do well to watch those episodes. And I also like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Living the Full Life. I will attach the link to my YouTube channel to this video and encourage you to subscribe and encourage your friends to subscribe if you are being blessed by the things I'm doing on this show. And today, like I said, we are going to episode 13 of our 30 days journey into discussing 30 important questions singles must ask while dating or courting. And right away, we jump into question 13. Question 13 says, have you had failed relationships before? Have you had failed relationships before? What happened? Yes. As you date or court someone, it's important to tap into their past. It's very, very important to tap into their past to understand if they have had failed relationships. And it's good and very important to ask them questions to understand what happened to previous relationships. What caused the breakage, or what caused the previous relationships to fail? How many of those relationships were there? What did they do to contribute to the failure of the relationship? It's always cheap and easy for people to discuss what the other person did and contributed to see that the relationships failed, and they may not be honest enough or bold enough to say what they did that contributed, or what they did wrong that contributed to the failure of their failed relationships. Number one reason why it's important to tap into their relationship history is to help you to understand their emotional baggage. You need to understand their emotional baggage. When people have a relationship that ends badly, they often leave that relationship with emotional scars and unresolved issues. They often leave that failed relationship or those failed relationships with emotional scars and unresolved issues. So knowing about past relationships failures can provide insight into any emotional baggage or lingering insecurities which they may have and that they may be carrying into the current relationship. And understanding these factors allow you to offer support and navigate the relationship with empathy, and also to be able to understand what issues they have that they are coming with from the failed relationship. They could be carrying some emotional issues, things they need healings from, things they need to honestly face. Because not all about empathy, is also about helping them to understand their responsibility in the failed relationships and helping them to own up to their failures and, to their errors, so they can be able to avoid the errors they committed in the last relationship or relationships which led to those relationships not working. And the second reason why it's important to tap into their past relationship is to enhance communication and trust. So discussing past relationship experiences demonstrates a willingness to communicate openly and honestly. It binds or it builds trust by showing that both partners are comfortable sharing personal history and are committed to transparency in their new relationship. And open communication about the past sets a foundation for trust and vulnerability. You must get to that point where you're able to open up to the one you think you want to spend the rest of your life with, to discuss your past, with them and let them understand, what went wrong. This helps in kind of enhancing your communication life and trust between the two people. The third reason why it's important to discuss past relationships is to be able to assess relationship patterns. It's be able to assess relationship patterns. And, learning about past failed relationships helps you understand your partner's relationship patterns, including recurring issues or challenges they may have faced. This knowledge allows you to assess compatibility and determine if both partners are compatible or have compatible communication styles, conflict resolution strategies, and relationship expectations. Now, there are certain things that may repeat themselves in this present relationship, which were in the past relationship. You want to be sure you understand the patterns. And in this discussion, you have to really be honest. You have to really be very, very honest in as much as you have to show empathy, in as much as you have to assist this person, to resolve the unresolved issues, which could be emotional scars, which could be something that has to do with insecurities. You equally have to be very frank and brutally truthful and honest to this person, so they would be able to get healing and be able to resolve the issues that led to the failure of past relationships. Now, discussing failures of past relationship, number 4 reason, equally helps you to identify red flags. And past relationship failures can reveal potential red flags or warning signs that may indicate underlying issues or behaviors that could affect the current relationship. So when you discuss the past relationship, what happened, why it failed, you may uncover patterns of behavior such as commitment issues, communication problems, unresolved conflicts that could in a way impact your relationship compatibility. It really helps you to identify, are there things that happened or the things that this person did in the past relationship that you two may not be able to accept. It helps you to identify these red flags. And when you identify these red flags, which could be involving, behaviors, character, communication issues, it helps you to gauge to see, are you ready for this? Are you really ready to go on with person with this kind of character flaws, with somebody with this kind of weaknesses or challenges in their personality? Are you really willing to continue with such a relationship and take it to a deeper level? You don't rush into marriage. You don't rush into, taking commitment, which is supposed to be a lifelong commitment, without getting the foundation properly set, because you can rush into marriage, but the moment you're rushing out of marriage, you always rush with some baggage. You always rush with some scars, when you always end relationship with scars. And finally, it helps you to manage expectations. When you prop into the relationship history of someone you are dating or courting, it helps you to, understand your partner's past relationship experiences, and they help you to manage expectations and navigate potential challenges in the current relationship. It allows you to approach the relationship with a realistic understanding. The challenge and difficulty we have today is when two young people meet or two people meet, they are so much interested in the emotional highs and, euphoria of the moments, and they don't think and look deep to understand things that are going on, identify patterns, and see how they could resolve these things before they say, yes, I do. And it allows you to approach relationship with a realistic understanding of your partner's history and any potential emotional or relational hurdles that may arise. This knowledge enables both partners to work together to address issues proactively and build a healthier relationship. It's important. Don't push that relationship to any reasonable level without asking serious questions. And one of the important questions you need to ask is to know if that person has had failed relationships in the past. Ask them to understand what happened. How did they contribute to that relationship's failure or to the failure of those relationships? What are the things they did? You may uncover emotional issues. You may uncover unresolved issues. You may uncover character flaws, and you may even identify serious red flags that would let you slow down with the process and be able to assist that person have healing from the scars of the past relationships. Because I always advise people this: you don't leave from a failed relationship and you immediately start another relationship. No, you need to slow down. You need to sit down. You need to take a reflection. You need to do a retrospection. Find out, why did this relationship fail? Don't try to look at the blame just from the other person, what they did to make the relationship fail. Be very honest enough to look from your own perspective. What did you do to make this relationship fail? What did you contribute, or how did you contribute to the failure of your past relationship? Be honest to yourself. Tell yourself the truth that even sometimes friends don't tell you. And when you identify those things you contributed, or those ways you contributed in your failed to cause your past relationships to fail, then consciously and intentionally work on yourself to see that you don't repeat those processes. There are people who are quick to get into relationship, and they're also quick to get out of relationship, and they are never learning anything from the failed relationships of the past. Failure is part of success when we are able to learn from our failures. But if we fail and we don't learn from the failures of the past, then we can never really build and avoid the errors that may come in the future. Thank you for following episode 13. And in episode 13, we are answering the question number 13. Have you had failed relationships in the past? What happened? If you like my videos, please share it with your friends. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, Living the Full Life. You have the full episode of all the series and other videos on my YouTube channel. Until I come your way again, I've been your friend, Pastor Divine. Happy Sunday and shalom.